me now. Action. Breathe with me now. Action.
What is premarital sex? Premarital sex is practiced by individuals who are not married. Historically, it is also considered as a taboo. Based on three religious views, which are Islamic, Buddhism, and Christianity, premarital sex is a sin. We will discuss more on religious views in the latter stages of this video. A bit on the history side, until the 1950s, the term premarital sex referred to sexual relations between two people prior to marriage. During that period, Western societies expected that men and women marry by the age of 21 or 22. As such, there were no considerations that who had sex would not marry. The meaning has since shifted, referring to all sexual relations a person has prior to marriage. This removes emphasis on who the relations are with. The definition has a degree of ambiguity. A research has recently been done by Pew Global on premarital sex in various different countries. This research is to show the rate of acceptance and non-acceptance of premarital sex. A statistics will be shown later on in this video as well. Lovemaking is necessary obligation to share the romance between married couples, and it should be kept between married couples only. In the next part of this video, we will show interviews we did between 7 people and their views and opinions on premarital sex.
There is no specific prohibition in the Bible against sex between an unmarried man and an unmarried woman. However, sexual immorality is denounced in about 25 passages in the New Testament. The word translated as sexual immorality or fornication in English versions of the Bible is Greek word porneia, which means illicit sexual intercourse. Jesus said, "It is what comes out of a person that defiles. It is from within, from the human heart, that evil intentions come: fornication, theft, murder, adultery, avarice, wickedness, deceit, envy, slander, pride, and folly. All these evil things come from within, and they defile a person."
In Buddhism, there are 3 objects of craving: the craving for existence, the craving for non-existence, and the craving for sensual pleasure, which is known as karma. Karma is identified as one of 5 hindrances to the attainment of jhana according to the Buddha teaching. Throughout the Sutta Pitaka, Buddha often compare sexual pleasure to arouse or lust. So in Kama Sutta from the Sutta Nipata, Buddha explained that craving sexual pleasure is a cause of suffering. There is a saying of Kama Sutta: if one longing for sexual pleasure achieves it, yes, he is enraptured at her, the mortal gets what he wants, but if for that person longing desiring the pleasure diminish, he is shattered as if shot with an arrow. Buddha also said this: so one always mindful should avoid sexual desire. Letting them go, he will cross over the floor like one who, having bite out the board, has reached the far shore. The fruit refers to the delight of human suffering. The far shore is Nibbana, a state in which there is not sexual desire. The meaning of the Kama Sutta is that sexual desire, like any habitual sense pleasure, brings suffering. To lay people, Buddha advised that they should at least avoid sexual misconduct, which means following generally accepted norms of sexual morality and behavior. From Buddha, full-time disabled and ordained monks and nuns, strict celibacy called brahmacharya has always been required.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will be talking about Islam's views on premarital sex. Premarital sex is absolutely forbidden as it is a fornication which is known as zina in Islam. Fornication and adultery has severely been condemned in saying of the Prophet and Imams. In Islam, premarital sex is considered an immoral right against Allah and one's own sexual organ. Islam considers zina a hudud sin or crime against Allah. Punishment of having premarital sex for either the man or woman which is guilty or have found guilty will get 100 times whips in the presence of witnesses. The consequences that for a person to be punished, a person needs to have 4 eyewitnesses who has seen the penetration and describe it in detail. If the person who has accused a man or woman of premarital sex does not bring forward 4 eyewitnesses or they do not describe the penetration in detail, they will be whipped 80 times in return and will not be allowed to go back in court and accuse anyone else again. No, I have not had sex before.
Yes.
I have done my premarital sex.
Of course, man, we do it every day.
Yes.
Yeah, as you can see, she's pregnant. So, yeah, we did.
In my opinion, sex before marriage is wrong. Because sex before marriage is wrong because you're not really tied to that person for life. Like say if you're married, you know you're going to be with them for life. But if you're not married and you have sex with your girlfriend or anyone, you might break up with them. So, and if you get married, she might not be your first anymore. And you give up your virginity to someone else instead of her. Or she might still be a virgin, depending.
It's alright as far as you are praying is safe.
It's wrong. I feel very guilty for performing premarital sexuality and also did abortion.
And I think it's right. Well, it helps relieve stress and you obtain sexual pleasure from it.
And our relationship grows.
I think it was wrong because this child has caused a lot of problems to my family and my personal life. My family are fighting with each other, with her family as well, because of the baby.
I think it's wrong because I'm still a student. I have no income, no money to raise this child, and this child has me future. Having sex is just like eating something when you are hungry.
because the person who loves me was taken away due to our selfish act and desire.
Well, because it feels good, man.
And I feel horny.
At first, we thought it was fun, but after I got fired from my job, I started using it as a way to de-stress and I started putting pressure.
Now,
Yes, after the premarital sexuality, I have made the biggest mistake in my life.
Not at all.
nothing wrong.
Yes, I regret a lot because it has really ruined my life and I have thought about committing suicide before.
I regretted it. I thought of going for abortion, but my fiance stopped me. So I decided to give birth to this child.
The advice I give to society is that do not have sex before marriage, because sometimes you might regret it, as I have a few friends who have done it. They regret it because later on they broke up with their girlfriends and then they had another one, so they regretted it sometimes. And I've seen online people posting up that they had sex before marriage and then they regretted it a lot after they were married. And just don't do it.
Just do it in the safe way.
Please don't perform premarital sexuality because you will regret if your future husband is not your premarital sexuality partner.
Safe sex, that's the most important thing.
Just do what you gotta do, man. You wanna have sex, have sex.
My advice to the society today is if you want to have sex before marriage, please use condoms. If not, then you better do it.
My advice to the society is don't so rush. Study first and keep everything slow.
There are many causes which will cause premarital sex, but today we will talk about the one that most common that's happening currently in this world, which is pressure. There are many types of pressures, which normally we can say that they are influenced by lecturer, business partner, boss, or even your friends. But today we will talk about the type of pressure which normally commonly happen, which is we call peer group pressure. What is peer group pressure? Peer group pressure is basically a person which is influenced from a group of people which have no immorality and which is also the same age with them, which try to have same social status. To further explain about this peer group pressure, we should talk about an incident that happened 2 years ago, which there was a student who wished to celebrate the New Year Eve with his friend. They celebrated it very happily, and then they moved from one location to another. And of course, the last destination, everyone know, and we also call them prostitute house. This student was practically doesn't want to join them, but due to the encouragement and the influence that was given by his group, he at the end decided to do it. And behind all the scenes, all of us know what will happen later. So basically, we can know how fearful it is, this peer group pressure. And so that's it about the peer group pressure. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Chiang. I'm here to talk about premarital sex due to curiosity. What is curious? Everyone will be curious on something. Okay, when you're curious on something, you will try to thinking, investigating, and exploring what is it. Okay, why people having premarital sex due to curiosity? Because they want to experience it. They never tried before. They don't know what does sex feel like. and they couldn't stop their mind from being curious on this thing. Therefore, this generation, most of the young people, they will have premarital sex before marriage. Yeah, that's it.
Premarital sex due to lust is because lust is an emotion or feeling of intense desire in body. Therefore, the term lust is often associated with sexual desire, especially of a sexual nature. On the other hand, lust can take any form such as the lust for knowledge, the lust for sex, or the lust for power. Basically, lust is a powerful psychological force producing intense wanting for an object or circumstance, fulfilling the emotion. And so this is why premarital sex can be happen unless you can control your mind.
Okay, so you guys have sex, right?
Yeah, me too. I have sex.
Huh? Yeah.
What happened?
What's wrong? What's wrong with it?
I accidentally made my girlfriend pregnant. Yeah. Because you know lah.
What? I don't know. How? What's wrong? Why?
Wanted that, then suddenly didn't check the condom, and something broke, then accidentally. I don't know. Check before the internet, the effects of the pregnancy. After seeing that, I regret very much, man. Scared my child have health problem because I'm still young, don't know anything about that. So scared later my child have get bullied in school later, then what he will do, like making crimes or anything. Yeah.
It's sad for you, man. How about you?
Yeah, me. Same thing happened.
Same thing, ah?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay, then.
I can feel you. I understand how it feels. Yeah, then after all the nightmare, right? Me and my wife, so-called wife now, okay, so we're going to marry soon because we're going to have a baby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, then we didn't chat a lot because we felt awkward between each other. Because we felt regret, disrespect, anger, and embarrassment between each other. When our parents asked, what's wrong with you guys? We just like, we can't even answer back our parents. So we just felt then regret and embarrassed. Yeah. So how about you? Yeah, how's your girlfriend?
Nothing, we have sex, nothing happened. So why you didn't check the condom? I think you should check, before you have sex, you should check the condom. You should make sure she's on birth control, right?
Yeah, but then the condom, because the condom, right, it makes me feel like it's not good, that's why I take it out.
Oh. I think, right, having premature sex, right, is okay, but you guys need to take your precautions, like condoms, the most important one. And there's another article, right, they talk about premature sex. They said that sex actually helps improve the relationship between each other.
Yeah, but then what happened between my wife and
that's why that's why I told you precautions is very important.
Yeah.
Premature sex is okay, but you need to take precautions. Okay?
It's too late, man.
Okay, firstly talk about the bad. Like people who had a premarital sex may be deemed of will as impure. Then if the unexpected event occurs, they may feel a pressure and harm of themselves. Then maybe the other can say yes, it may be dangerous sexual pressure and sacrifice of curiosity pressure, but is not encouraged. Love-making should be kept between married couple, and the intimacy should be kept between couple. People who have married, they might have lust and pressure, can talk to an adult, share with a close friend, or seek counseling, or even can call up the hotline to help with their situation. If someone who has premarital sexuality and occur unexpectedly should always seek counseling and see a counselor to help them with their journey. So the conclusion is, we are discourage any form of premarital sexuality and it should not be practiced.
Sometimes something beautiful happens in this world. You don't know how to express yourself, so you just gotta sing.